High on the Hog tells the sweeping history of African American food, first as a book and now in a highly acclaimed 4-part series on Netflix. Special correspondent Charlene Hunter-Galt talked with some of the show's creative team about why this approach has sparked such interest. The story is part of our Race Matters series and our Arts and Culture series, Canvas.
High on the Hog begins in Dantokpa Market, Benin, West Africa, tracing the history both of African American food and the slave trade from there to the United States. A journey that helped host Stephen Satterfield explore his roots.
I just feel like, the experience of seeing my own likeness,
isn't it?
Reflected,
Isn't it?
In the hair. I see our style and the garments and how we wear stuff.
And in our swagger.
Our swagger, our ingenuity, our resourcefulness.
The show's title is based on the breakthrough book published over a decade ago by historian and writer Dr. Jessica B. Harris, whose work I've applauded in the past.
They brought rice, the yams, peas, beans, black-eyed peas, fava beans. All of those things that now join us are things that came with us.
That's right.
Harris guides Satterfield in the first episode.
I felt so nurtured and so honored to be a part of her work and legacy in this way.
Executive producers and creative partners Karis Jagger and Fabienne Toback studied and marked up Harris's book for months.
Yeah. Hers is crazy.
Every post-it,
yeah,
every
look, mine
note.
is crazy too.
Looks like some of my books. How did you find her and how much help was she in your initial creation of the series?
Well, a dear friend of mine sent me the cover of the book and he said, read this, it's going to change your life. I sat and read it in one sitting. Harris and I have been working together for about a decade now. I gave it to her and we just read it and cried and just was like, oh, this is the culmination of many, many, many years of her work. So we really wanted to treat it with the utmost care and consideration.
Like its source material, High on the Hog acts as an historical corrective, pushing back on the erasure of the contributions of African American chefs and cooks. Like James Hemings, a Paris-trained chef, and for most of his life was Thomas Jefferson's slave, Hemings helped introduce mac and cheese to America. But this legacy was largely unknown, even to his own descendants.
So you must have grown up eating mac and cheese.
Well, sure, we all did, didn't we?
Yeah, we all did, right?
Yeah.
And so how did it feel once you realized that you were a descendant of the person or the family that helped popularize this dish in the U.S.?
Well, first of all, I didn't grow up with that knowledge. I didn't learn that until recently. And now that I know that, I'm wondering where my royalties are.
A few decades after Hemings' death, free Black entrepreneurs in Philadelphia, like Robert Bogle, went on to found the nation's first professional catering businesses. These companies became a fixture of high society and served Black and white clients into the 20th century.
My family was one of those first pioneers of that, the Dutrells. So this is one of the first photos I saw of the family that I was like, wait a minute, people lived like this?
Yes.
How come we don't know more about this?
Yes.
Like, what is their story? Where did she come from? What are they doing? So I love this photo just
she looks
because
amazing.
it says so much.
Yeah.
The thing for us with the book was to constantly keep weaving the hard stuff with the joy. So, and I think that's the route that we were taking, because I think without one, it becomes overwhelming and you need the balance.
That's such a great phrase you use, the hard stuff with the joy. And, Black history at the moment is being challenged throughout the country. Are you hopeful that the show will in some way add to the dialogue in a positive way?
Absolutely. I mean, when we looked at developing this book into a series, there's indisputable facts in the book. It's not an opinion piece. These are stories of people that are deeply woven into the nation, on our nation's food. And we wanted to illuminate these histories so that they have some sort of memory or recollection from where that mac and cheese, how it came here.
High on the Hog doesn't only look back, it's also firmly rooted in the present. Jagger and Toback started their own food blog, Hey Sister, to find innovators and stalwarts of modern Black food culture, many of whom the show brings together.
It's about community and a way to come together. And I think that's something that we show in the show a lot. Every episode focuses on a communal table and a communal meal. And for me, that's what food is. You know, it's about having my family come together, having my friends come together, breaking bread, learning things. And that's where I get my joy.
The show was produced and led by a mostly Black creative team, including Academy Award-winning director Roger Ross Williams.
There's so much power in each of us in connecting our own personal, ancestral, historical identities to the food we eat every day.
Did you think of an audience, or did you have in mind a certain audience? What was in your own mind as you pursued this?
We wanted Black people to feel seen and embraced and inspired and loved by this work. And so what you have is something very unique for Black people, in which our stories are put into our hands and our care without needed additional context, without filtration. That is not to say that this is only for Black people. I think that there's a lot to be garnered for the ways in which we can simultaneously celebrate the contributions of a particular culture, but also as human beings, appreciate those contributions for our collective lives and societies.
In these racially divisive times, Satterfield and executive producers Toback and Jagger all feel optimistic about the power of inclusive storytelling.
We see negative cycles all the time, and I think we have to keep being hopeful that we manage to get out of them. You know, a lot of things have changed since emancipation, and unfortunately a lot of things are the same. So but let's keep being hopeful.
For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Charlene Hunter-Gault.